Hello, welcome to SV Union High School and Junior College. Today we are going to discuss about the more effective concept of the C++, that is the operator overloading. Because of this feature, it is become very effective programming language. It is one of the many exciting feature of C++. It is an important technique that has enhanced the power of extensibility of C++. C++ tries to make the user-defined data types behave in much the same way as built-in types. So this is a very clear concept about the operating overloading that we are going to discuss. That we know there are the different data types are there in C++, that is the user-defined and built-in data types. C++ permits us to add two variables of user-defined data type with the same syntax that is applied to the basic types. So in operator overloading concept we are going to discuss about that is what happens is with the user defined data types and the built-in data types. What is the behavior of user defined data types and what is the behavior of built-in data types. Now what we are going to do, we are going to do that we want to make the behavior of user defined data type will be same as in a built-in data types. So that will be possible because of the concept of operator overloading. We'll see in detail. As we know, there are the different operators are in programming language. Either it is a C, C++ or any mathematical operation. We can perform the basic mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Now when we are going to perform this addition and subtraction or basic mathematical operation with the help of built-in data types, then it can be easily done by that particular programming language, as those are the built-in data types. Built-in data types means what? At the time of that programming language design, some ready-made features are added in that programming so that it can be easily or automatically accessible in that editor or design or the coding of that program. So when we are going to perform the addition, then operator can work on the operands of type char, int, float and double. So these are nothing but that is the character, integer, float and double are the built-in data types. Okay, so when we are going to perform the addition operation on these data types operands, then it can be easily done. But what happens is if we want to perform the addition of S1, S2 and S3 as these are the objects of the class string, then we can write the statement as S3 is equals to S1 plus S2. Now see here, or S1, S2 and S3 are nothing but these are the objects of the class, and now class is nothing but it is a user defined data type. So the statement that is S3 is equals to S1 plus S2 is that performance can be easily done or not. That how it will be performed, that we are going to see by using the concept operator overloading. This means C++ has the ability to provide the operators with a special meaning for a data type. Here whatever the special meaning we are going to provide to these operator on this data type is nothing but it is the operator overloading. Means what is the behavior of the data types of the built-in will be given to the data types for the user defined data types, then it is called as giving the special meaning to that operator. Now when we are going to provide the addition of two integer number, that is 1 plus 2, then it can be done easily as it is the built-in data type. But when we are going to do the addition of the two objects, that time it will be not done as the same as in built-in data type. But here we want to do the addition of the two objects like the addition of two integer. That time we are giving the special meaning to the operator addition, then it will be done by the concept operator overloading, because the mechanism of giving special meaning to an operator is known as operator overloading. Means what? Here the operation addition will be same for the built-in data types and user defined data type, but when we are going to provide these operation on user defined data types, that time we are providing the special meaning for that operator, so it is called as a giving the special meaning to an operator is known as operator overloading. In operator overloading, operator is nothing but it is a symbol that indicates an operation, whatever the operation we want to perform, either it is a addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. Next, overloading means what? As we have seen just now for the definition, that assigning different meaning to an operation depending upon the context. Means what? When we are going to provide the addition of the two integer number, then it will be work on the integer numbers, but when we are going to provide the addition operator for the two objects, then the meaning is changes. So assigning the different meaning to an operation, it is known as a overloading. For example, here two operators are there, that is the input operator and output operator. Now when we consider about the output operator, if that operator we consider as a built-in type, that time the definition of this operator will be that it is the shifting of bits. Means what? The working or the operation of this output operator for built-in data type means what? Shifting of bits. But same operator we considered under the user defined data type, then the meaning of this operator is to display the values of various data types. Means the meaning of this operator is going to change. So it is called as a overloading, as assigning different meaning to an operation is known as a overloading. Means here for the output operator the meaning is shifting of the bits, and for user defined data type it is displaying the data types. So this is about the some concepts of operator overloading. As we know, there are the different mathematical operators are there that we can use for the different purposes, but as we are going to do the operator overloading concept, then some operators are there that we cannot overload. For example, class member access operator, that is this dot operator. Then second one is the scope resolution operator. Then third one size of operator, and fourth one is the conditional operator. So these type of the operators are there in C++ that we cannot overload. This is about the important thing when we are going to do the overloading of the operator. That time we have to consider all these things. Now we'll see the syntax or the definition of operator overloading. The general form of operator function is return type, class name, scope resolution operator, operator, OP in bracket arg list. Then in brackets we are writing the function body. In this syntax, return type, it is a type of value returned by the specified operation. Means what? What is the data type? What is the value is going to return from this function? What will be the data type of that we have to write over here. Generally, whatever the normal function we are going to write, we write the int add. Means what? From the add function, we are going to return the value which will be in the form of the integer. So same thing we have to write over here, from this function which type of the value we are going to return. After that we have to write the class name of the class. Then scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator here we are using because this function, if we are going to define outside of the class, then this is the syntax to define that function, class name with the scope resolution operator. Next, OP is the operator that will be overloaded. For example, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, which operator we are going to overload, that operator we have to put here. Then operator Operator is nothing but it is a keyword. So we have to compulsory write this operator key word here because it is a keyword which will become compulsory. Then in function brackets we have to write the argument list. How many argument we are going to pass for this function, that we have to define inside. So this is the way how to define the operator overloading function. Return type, class name, scope resolution operator, operator keyword, then operator, whatever the operator we want to overload, and then in argument list. Inside the body of the function we have to write the procedure or the code regarding whatever the operator we have written over here. Now some little things are there that we have to consider when we are going to write the program by using the operator overloading. When an operator is overloaded, the produced symbol is called as a operator function name. Suppose we write the program for the operator add, that is the addition we are going to perform. That addition symbol that becomes the name of that function. It is called as a operator function. Operator function should be either member function or friend function. So it will be the member function or it will be the friend function. Friend function requires one argument for unary operator and two for binary operator. So this is the one of the new thing that we are going to learn, that is the one argument and the two argument, that is a unary operator and binary operator. So when we say that unary operator, that time it come with the one operator and one operand, and when we say the binary operator, that time it come with the two operands and one operator. Unary operator, plus plus a plus plus, minus minus a minus minus, plus a plus, or minus a minus. In this situation there will be the one operator, that is the minus is the operator, plus is the operator, plus plus is the operator, and minus minus is the operator, and a is the operand on which the operator is going to perform the operation. It is called as a operand. So a plus, in this situation a is the operand and plus is the operator. And when we consider the binary operator, that time there will be the one operator and two operands. So a plus b, plus is the operator and a and b are the operands. So there will be the operation addition is going to perform on two operands. So it is called as a binary operators. Member function requires one arguments for binary operator and zero arguments for the unary operator. So this is the thing, that is the difference between what happens is in case of the friend function if there is the operator overloading, and in case of the member function if we are going to perform the operator overloading. Now we'll see the what is the process for the operator overloading. So first, create the class that defines the data type that to be used in overloading operation. So first we have to write the class. Inside the class we are going to declare the variable with that particular data types. Then second, declare the operator function operator op. So operator will be the keyword and op that any operator which we want to overload, addition, subtraction, any, in the public part of the class. So access specifier here we have to define as a public. It may be either a member function or friend function. That just we have seen what is a member function or what is a friend function. Define the operator function to implement the required operation. So what operation we want to perform, depending on that operation we have to declare the operator function. If you want to perform the addition of the two number, then function will be the addition. If you want to perform the multiplication of the two number, then the function will be the multiplication. So depending on the required operation, the operator function we have to define. Now we'll see about the overloading of unary operator. So overloading of this unary operator means what? The explicit argument to an operator function is called as a unary operator overloading. The operator will be, as I told, plus plus, minus minus, or minus are unary operator. and plus plus and minus minus can be as prefix or suffix with the function. Means what? Suppose we write the plus plus a, then it becomes a prefix, and the a plus plus, then it is a suffix or postfix, we can say. These operators have only one, that is a single operand. So it is the situation under the unary operator overloading. Now we are going to see the binary operators overloading. So as I told, binary operator overloading means what? It consists of the two operand and one operator, a plus b, and b are the operands and plus is the operator. Now we are going to see the one program. This program is for the practical also and theory also. So here I write the hash include iostream.h. So I include the header file, then class complex. So here I define the class complex. What is the first step? First we have to define the class, then inside the class we have to write the data types, that is a declaration of the variable. Then under the public section we have to define the public, that is the operator overloading function. So we'll see, here I declare the class complex, then inside the body of the class first I declare the double real and double img, that is the real and imaginary. So here we are going to see the program for addition of the two complex number. Then under the public section complex, so this is the first constructor I defined, that is the empty, or we can say that the default constructor. Then second constructor I define complex in bracket double comma double. So it is the constructor with the two parameters, so it is called as a parameterized constructor. And then I define the complex operator plus in bracket complex. So this is nothing but it is the operator function. Name of the class, operator is the keyword, plus is the operator function, and argument that we are passing the class as argument, that is the complex. And then member function I define one, void print, then closing of the body of the class complex. Now after that I am going to define one by one constructor and the operator function. So here first I define the complex scope resolution operator complex in function double r comma double I. So this is the way when we are going to define any constructor or the member function outside the class, then that function come with the name of the class and the scope resolution operator. Then we have to define the constructor. Then simply here I am writing the real is equals to r and im is equals to I. So just defining the these two real and imaginary variable with the r and I, that is the assigning. Then close the body for this constructor. Next complex scope resolution operator, operator keyword plus in bracket complex param. So this is the statement or coding statement. Here I am going to define the operator function. So what is the syntax we have seen? That is a return type, name of the class, scope resolution operator, operator keyword, op, that is a function, and in bracket argument list. So in this statement complex is a return type, that is whatever the value we are going to return from this function, it is in the form of the complex. Complex means what? Here complex is nothing but it is the class. So from this function we are going to return the value which will be in the form of the complex. So data type of this return, that is the complex. Complex is nothing but it is the name of the class, and class is nothing but it is the user defined data type. So see this program. Here I am going to calculate the addition of the two complex number by using the concept of the operator overloading, and here this will be done by user defined data type. So what is the definition of the operator overloading? When we are giving the special meaning to the operator, then it is called as a operator overloading. Normally what happens is we can perform the addition of the two numbers, integer, float, double, or the char. So it can be done easily. But when we want to perform the same procedure on user defined data type, that is addition procedure, that time we have to use the concept of the operator overloading. And in this program, this will be done by this statement, that is here we define the function operator overloading. Now complex, that is a return type. Complex is the name of the class. Scope resolution operator, operator keyword, plus that is the name of the function complex param. So here we are going to pass the value as an argument as object and the its data type. So data type for the object is the complex, param is the name of the object, complex is the data type of that. So it is the class complex and the param is the object. Now inside the operator function in body we are going to write complex temp. So here one more object we create, that is the temp. Now when we are going to define the addition of the two complex number, we are going to perform the addition of the real part of the first complex number and real part of the second complex number. And same thing, that is we are going to perform the addition of the imaginary part of the first complex number and imaginary part of the second complex number. So that here I am writing the statement temp dot real is equals to real plus param dot real. So temp is the variable which is used to store the addition of the real part and addition of the imaginary part. So in real part, temp dot real is equals to real plus param dot real. So here real is the real part of the first object, the complex number, plus param dot real, that is the real part of the second complex number. Second complex number we are going to access by using the object dot real. Same we are going to perform temp dot imaginary is equals to imaginary plus param dot imaginary. So imaginary part of the first complex number plus imaginary part of the second complex number, and it is going to store in a temp dot imaginary. Then return temp. So in the temp variable we stored the result, that is the addition of the real and addition of imaginary. As we have written the complex as the return type, means here we are going to pass the value which will be type of the complex. So this is the example, that is the addition of the two complex number by using the binary operator. So in this example, temp dot real is equals to real plus param dot real and temp dot img is equals to img dot param dot img and return temp. This function we have seen. Now when we are going to do, that is the main function we are going to write, that time I create the first object of the complex, that is the complex C1. As we know the concept, we can create the number of the object for the same class. So complex C1 in bracket 3.1 comma 1.5. So here I am passing the first complex number, and complex C2 is equals to 1.2 comma 2.2. So here I am writing the second complex number. As I create the object of the same class, two objects, that is the constructor is called. As per the syntax, when we create the object, the constructor is automatically called. Here the parameterized constructor is going to called. So this is the that we write the two complex number by using the two object. In C1 first complex number and in C2 second complex number. Now C3 is equals to C1 plus C2. C3 is the object in which we are going to store the result of the C1 plus C2. So in this situation, C3 is the object, C1 is the object and C2 is object. Means what? Here we are going to perform the addition of the two objects, and these objects are nothing but this is the temporary variable or instance of the class, and class is nothing but the user defined data type. So when we want to apply the behavior of the built-in data type, that is the operator behavior of operator on built-in data type, same for the behavior of operator on user defined data type, that time we have to use the concept of the operator overloading, and because of this concept we can perform the addition of the two objects. that is a C3 is equals to C1 plus C2. So two objects C1 and C2 are passed as an argument. C1 is treated as a first operand and C2 treated as a second operand of the plus operator, and it is nothing but it is a concept of operator overloading for the binary operators. Now there are some rules for the operator overloading. That is the first, only existing operator can be overloaded. We cannot create a new operator. So whatever the existing operator is there, that we can overload. Overloaded operator should contain one operand of user defined data type. Overloading operators are only for classes. We cannot overload the operator for built-in data type because we know that we want to do these on a user defined data types. It is not required for the built-in data type as it is easily done for built-in data type. Overloaded operators have the same syntax as the original operator. Whatever the original operator's syntax is there, that should be same for the overloaded operators. Operator overloading is applicable within the scope, that is the extent in which overloading occurs. Binary operators overloaded through a member function take one explicit argument, and those which are overloaded through a friend function take two explicit arguments. So depending on member function or the friend function, it will take that particular arguments. So these are the some rules about the operator overloading. So this is the concept of the operator overloading we have seen, and the purpose of that operator overloading that we are going to learn, that we want to change the behavior of operator as it happens is in built-in data type, it will be applied to the user defined data type. So this is about the operator overloading. Thank you.